Scattered throughout the quaint and scenic towns of Bucks County, Pennsylvania, sit 12 historical wooden covered bridges. When you drive through these covered bridges, it brings you back to a simpler time and brings you feelings of nostalgia. The self-guided driving tour of Bucks County's 12 remaining covered bridges is split up into two halves. The first takes about 2 hours to complete, while the second takes about an hour and a half. This video shows drive-throughs of many of the bridges of the Eastern Loop Tour. The full covered bridge tour makes a large circle through Bucks County and is planned so the traveler can start at any one of the bridges. Unfortunately, the majority of the bridges do not have areas to pull off and take photographs. For the most picturesque spots, head to Perkasie and Tyler State Park's covered bridges.
The Van Sant Covered Bridge was built in 1875 by G. Arndt and P. S. Naylor. They used the Ethioptown truss construction style. The bridge is 86 feet long and 15 feet wide, has one span which itself spans Pidcock Creek. Van Sant is also known as Beaver Dam Bridge. South of New Hope, near Washington Crossing Historic Park, Van Sant Covered Bridge is a hallmark of Bucks County bridges. It is red with white entry portals. The bridge is allegedly a crybaby bridge. There are rumors that Van Sant's bridge could be haunted. As the legend goes, many years ago a young woman got pregnant out of wedlock. Her family wanted nothing to do with her and her child. So upset was she by this that after giving birth, she crept out in the middle of the night with her baby in her arms and headed to the nearby bridge. Once there, she flung her baby into the water and then hung herself from the bridge's rafters. The baby's cries, reportedly, still can be heard at night.
Means Ford Bridge spans Tochican Creek in Ralph Stover State Park, Stover Park Road, Pipersville, and is the longest of 7 surviving boxed how pony truss bridges in North America. The bridge was built in the 1860s, rehabilitated in 1993. As you can see in the video with the placement of the traffic cones, this bridge is in rough shape. Once a common feature of the 19th century landscape, boxed pony truss bridges are now nearly extinct. A pony truss is a truss bridge which allows traffic through the truss, but the top of the bridge is not joined together with cross braces. A how truss is a truss bridge consisting of chords, verticals, and diagonals whose vertical members are in tension and whose diagonal members are in compression. The Howe truss was invented by William Howe in 1840 and was widely used as a bridge in the mid to late 1800s. Located on Wismer Road between Stump Road and Dark Hollow Road near Hinkletown in Plumstead Township, the Lou Covered Bridge is one of 2 covered bridges crossing Cabin Run Creek. Because Cabin Run Creek was so dangerous to cross, the local residents petitioned for a bridge in 1872. Constructed in 1874 by David Sutton using the town truss design, it has 1 span and is built of hemlock. The 60 feet long and 15 feet wide Lou Covered Bridge is the second shortest bridge in the county and the only bridge painted white. A stone marker on the bridge that identifies it as Cabin Run Bridge is quite curious, since there is another bridge known as Cabin Run that was built in 1871. Though the stone marker identifies it as Cabin Run Bridge, it is not. Both the Cabin Run Covered Bridge and the Lou Covered Bridge cross Cabin Run Creek. Lou Covered Bridge was built by Bucks County in 1874 and is owned by the state of Pennsylvania. John A. Lou was the longest tenured justice of the peace in Bucks County.
The covered bridge's structure and style are inspired by the famous architect Ethioptown. Town's patented wooden truss bridges feature an uninterrupted series of crisscross diagonals that connect the horizontal top and bottom chords to form a series of overlapping triangles. He used materials that were readily available and resistant to severe weather. His design allowed the bridges to be easily constructed and repaired by local carpenters. While not a wooden or covered bridge, the Byram Road Bridge, also known as the Danborough Point Pleasant Pike Bridge, is a very early example of a pin-connected Pratt Pony Truss bridge. It features unusual details characteristic of early metal truss bridges. The end posts of this bridge have unique cover plates that actually have an arch to them. Lightweight, built-up floor beams are present on the structure. Decorative details on the bridge include finials at the four corners of the bridge, as well as ornate plaques on the center of the bridge on top of the top chord. The builder, Murray, Dougal and Company, while almost unheard of in bridge work, was a noted railroad car builder. This bridge is bypassed by a modern vehicular bridge and in 2008 was restored.
Located at Hollowhorn and Cafferty Road in Tinticum Township, the two-span structure of the Frankenfield Covered Bridge was built in 1872 by David Sutton utilizing the town truss, and is painted red. It is 130 feet long and 12 feet wide, making it the longest of the used bridges in the county. There is a small nameplate on the bridge listing its date of construction, length and height. The bridge crosses the Tinnicum Creek only 2 miles upstream from where the creek flows into the Delaware River. This area had been known for its abundance of turtles. Stories are told that leeches were collected here in colonial times and sold to Philadelphia doctors for bloodletting. Constructed in 1873 by unknown builders, Sherd's Mill Covered Bridge spans Tehicon Creek. One of Bucks County's longer bridges, it is 130 feet long and 15 feet wide. The one-span bridge uses the town truss and is painted the traditional red with a white entry or portal. Many covered bridges were built near mills for the convenience of farmers. In this situation, the mill was built by David Sherd in 1835 and is still standing. During the 20th century, John Clymer owned the mill and continued to grind grain for feed and apples for cider until 1965. The mill is on the National Register and currently part of the Tehicon family campgrounds. Sherd's Covered Bridge is located on Covered Bridge Road between East Rockhill and Haycock Township in Percy, Pennsylvania.
Bucks County's shortest covered bridge, at only 56 feet long, the Irwina Covered Bridge is noted for its town truss lattice-type construction, crosses the Lodi Creek, also known as Swamp Creek, and stands as part of a tract of 528 acres purchased by Colonel Arthur Irwin in 1769. Irwin served in the Bucks County Militia and was asked by George Washington to rally his militia to take part in the 1776 Delaware River crossing. Although the National Register lists the construction date of the Irwina Covered Bridge as 1871, the county records suggest it was actually built in 1832. This bridge has a height limit of 11 feet and is located at 87 Geigel Hill Road, Irwina.
Our final bridge of this tour crosses Cook's Durham Creek. The Connex Covered Bridge, also known as Slifer's Bridge, was built of hemlock in 1873 and uses the town truss with one span. The 110 feet by 15-foot bridge is painted the traditional red with white entry portals. Slifer Valley was named for the early German settlers who resided here prior to 1750. Their descendants are still farming the area.